And good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for stopping by. Familiar sight again, back in the Pajero, and we're taking on the second part of the auxiliary battery install. You'll see I've got some 6-gauge wire there on the floor, and at the moment I'm just looking at routing it from there up through the firewall, and it will actually come out just down here. You can see where we've routed some of the other wires in this conduit, and in through the sort of the factory harness and stuff through here. What I tend to find works for me is I've gone and got a coat hanger. I do have several of them now along the side here where I've been working on it, and I've tossed them aside, but I can't find a single one. Anyway, so what you basically do is just take your coat hanger, just a regular old coat hanger, pick one of the older ones, otherwise you're going to upset the missus. I tend to use the thinner ones. This is actually a thicker one. I thought I'd give this a try because I'm pulling the heavier gauge wire through, and literally just find the hole down there and feed this through. I'm not going to do it one-handed because I might catch onto something. Pop a hole into the grommet itself. Just use a screwdriver or something like that. Don't push too far in. Literally just pop the hole and let it go, and then find the hole. You may need to pull on the grommet to put a bit of pressure on it so that hole opens back up, because it does, almost reseal when you do it, and then push this through. Now when you're pushing this through from the other side, there are all the wires like the factory harness, which, let me just put this down, I think you can see coming in the back there, so it's reasonably thick. It's it's about yay thick, so there's lots of very small gauge wire, very thin wire running through there. You don't want to just be pushing through really hard, otherwise you're going to catch it. Sometimes when you're doing this, you'll find that you've actually split through the middle of the harness, and when you're routing the cable through, you'll actually find that your harness, whatever wire you're running through has gone through the middle of that harness. Now, with the help of the dog, we are back inside the car. If we get down up under here, when you are pushing through there, just be very careful, because a lot of those are very, very thin. You can see those up there in the corner, and that's basically what's coming through the firewall there. So just to make that easy, to pull this panel out, there's one down there basically on the firewall. It's just that big cap. You've got a screw in this corner, or a bolt in this corner. This little tab here just pushes down to pull out, and then you've got those couple of press tabs on the back. So just once you've got that undone, got that bolt out, taking this one off the firewall, just give it a bit of a pull and she'll drop right out. This is going to give you a better idea of what we've actually got up here. So you can see that wire harness there, and it's all sort of joined up to a whole bunch of stuff. This is under the bottom of the AC unit here, and the fan, etc. Anyway, so you can see there, I think that's my coax coming through there. You can see with that one's actually gone straight through the harness, so it's not ideal, not what I wanted, and I wouldn't have done that given the choice. I should have probably redone that, but it is handy sometimes to have somebody on the other side, i.e. this side, while you're feeding it from the other side. Once it comes through, if you go through fairly high, you will find you can come through the top here, like I've done there with those other ones, and avoid going anywhere near these. Well, not anywhere near them, but you can go over the top of those. You will run into the back of this, so if you start feeling pressure once you're pushing it, don't push too hard, because you might be in the harness. You don't want to be bugging anything up. But if you find like it just all of a sudden stops, you think you've got through, you may be on here, come back inside, just reach your finger up, grab it and pull it down, and then you can start taping up the other wire to pull it back through. And if you get it right, you can see we're on top of that, all the other wires there at the back, and we've got plenty of coat hanger coming through. You want it? You want it? You don't want it. You don't want it. What's up? Give me a shake. Give me a shake. You're a good boy. Another one? Oh. Is that it? And pretty much, and then what you're going to do is just get your electrical tape, or some sort of tape, whether it be electrical tape or gaff tape, something like that, and tape it to the end of the coat hanger like that, or wire, or whatever you've got. We'll see how we go with this. Hopefully we went in a little bit through, and then we can pull the rest. So we shall see how we go. If you're doing this on your own, always make sure you've got plenty of length, so you're not getting cord on anything, because if you do, that's just going to pull this all apart and you're going to be back where you started. Now we're back into the engine area. One other thing, when you're using picking gate hangers, grab one of these plastic coated ones, because as you can see here, there's a real benefit to those, because while we've got that coming through there, and it's not actually going to be earthing out or anything, it's going through the rubber, it's inside, it doesn't really appear to be touching anything. But if you accidentally touch the firewall or something, and the other end of your coat hanger, whilst you're inside, you know, you're moving it around or whatever, it touches this positive battery terminal, and you work that out, you're in trouble. You know, you might start a fire, or you know, short something out, break something, whatever. So if you've got the choice, go with one of these ones. Go with just a plastic coated one. That's just a little bit safer. If you're just running stuff around in the back of the car and you're not anywhere near the battery, or you've disconnected it or something like that, just grab yourself a regular wire one. But I just prefer the plastic coated ones, just from a safety perspective. Alright, now we're just going to try this. I might be able to do this one-handed. Just nice and slow. Meeting some resistance there, but I think, well, no, you'll see that tape's actually just stretching. I might just keep pulling on it. I might actually pull that through. I think it's just going to break off. Oh, I think we're pretty close. Got a feeling we're just there, just on the other side, but it's not going to come through. Ah, look at that. Just grabbed it with the pliers and pulled on it, and we're there. That's okay. I'm going to just pull enough through here so I know where I want to route it. We are going to have to add a fuse on here. We're obviously going to put it into one of these conduits. I'm going to have to put some more of this in. Probably tidy that up a little bit. And then we'll just, you know, stick it somewhere. Okay, so we're back at the passenger side door. You see we've got that trim off. That is a little bit sharp. The coat hanger is pushed through here. It did take me probably about, I don't know, half a dozen goes or so. Once you're just sort of coming in, I think you can see there, through there, beside this plastic, and between the actual panel itself to the carpet, you can see here, just to make things a little bit easier. That just sort of pulled out easy enough. This side panel, or this panel, I suppose, is just, again, same as the front one. Just lever it up. You got the tabs there. Interestingly enough, those tabs actually go into the floor here, and with those removed, you've actually got holes straight through the floor. A couple more of these grommets. Once you lift this side up, and I noticed this on the other side, is you'll actually find this foam piece actually sort of just sits in there like that, obviously up under the panel. So because I was having so much trouble getting through, I actually saw that the coat hanger is running underneath. So if you pull this out, be very careful, like it is just literally foam. So you don't want to bugger that, because that supports that panel there. Now I'm going to route the wire into there. I have just pulled this panel off just slightly, and to do that, pull this rubber, just pulls back off the side there. Just pop this top panel off, and then you'll be able to sort of lever this out a little bit. Okay, and we are through. So you can see that wire running through there under that panel, so that's protected. Running up under there. Actually lift these little carpet tabs, push it back under there, and they just sort of sit on there, hold that carpet in place so it doesn't slide away. Another piece of foam in here. They use this stuff everywhere by the look of it. And we pull that carpet back. You can see that's the red cable, the most obvious one, run up there and going out through the firewall. So that's a nice clean run. I'm pretty happy with that. And obviously if you need to run anything else from front to back, or just to get in the cab, you can see what's going on down there. If you pull that carpet down, if you need to go up the dash, you can do that there. Probably need to cable tie some of those up just to hold them into place. And what I actually did was went back into the shed and grabbed some of this stuff. This is yellow tongue, which is, you know, the yellow tongue. I'm not sure whether you have it everywhere, but it's basically a timber. It's a joiner for yellow tongue. So it basically sits in between two pieces of timber and becomes a join. Not a timber guy, so I can't tell you much more than that. But you can buy it, because apparently electricians love it for just this sort of work, for doing home stuff. They feed it down in through walls and then pull it out the other end. So I went and grabbed that because it's a bit more flexible. This is like $2 for, sorry, about $4 for about 3 meters or something like that. But what I did end up having success with was the coat hanger here. As you can see, I was having some issues there. I'm sure the yellow tongue's just in here or probably up here. And then you basically just push it through and get your hand in, because it was getting stuck up in here somewhere. And what I actually found interesting was I thought this section was going to pull out, and I got all excited. I thought, oh great, I'll be able to, you know, just get my hands in there and pull it out. It's going to vibrate the shit. So I'm going to put some double-sided tape around there or something, because if you reach up from the inside, down here, put your hand up, you'll actually find there's a screw here and a screw here holding it in. Why it's not just a pull out, I don't know. Because that'll be great. We can get in there and do some wiring and whatever we need in there. Anyway, needless to say, here's our coat hanger. Just going to grab that and give it a bit of a pull. Haha, there we go. Okay guys, we're going to leave it at that for this one, and we'll continue on in part 3. Obviously I'm going to go through and reinstall all these panels, which is piece of cake and the reverse of what we've done. Luckily enough, we didn't have to pull too much apart, so I'm pretty happy with that. Going to consider where I'm going to put the DC-DC charger, and I might just quickly run that earth and get that done, get that sorted out, and maybe just tidy up where we're going to run this solar panel and bring that in, because that actually needs to go to the DC-DC charger as well. I need to really consider what I'm going to do there, so to keep my runs nice and short. Okay guys, that's it. We'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.